Hey, you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Forge Lines Forever. Today I have a 5v5 custom match here on the most amazing Neuroxis map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players. We'll start with Team 1 on the northeastern side of the map, and then we'll end with Team 2 on the southwestern side of the map. We'll take a look at Team 1's eastern player first, and then go clockwise. We have in Ruby Red, and the Brigadier slot is Enden1 playing as a UEF. He is a 1400 to his south. In forest green, we have the Aeon of Tantal, the best color, of course. He is a 1600. He's also tied with two other players on his team for the highest rated player on their team. To his west, in Rust, we have the Seraphim of Mass with two A's. He is one of those 1600s that Tantal is tied with for highest rated player on their team. To his northwest, we have in Stitch Blue, it is Caliber playing as a Cybran. He is the last 1600 to introduce, so he is tied with Tantal and Mass for the highest rated player on their team. Again, he's playing as a Cybran. And then rounding off Team 1, we have I Will Rage Quit. We'll see if it happens or not. He is in Barbie Pink as an Aeon as a 1200. So over Team 1 side of the map, they have one UEF, one Cybran, two Aeon, and then one Seraphim, which means all the factions are represented on Team 1 side of the map. Take a look at Team 2 Southwestern player we have in Royal Blue, or maybe Space Marine Blue. We'll see if that is being the feeling or not. He is Double Dealer playing as a UEF. He is a 1300. To his north, we have in Glow in the Dark Green, it is Storm Lantern playing as a Cybran. He is a 2000 rated player, the highest rated player on Team 2 and in the game overall. To his east in Snow White, we have the UEF of Sabdex. He is a 1400, again in Snow White. And in the eastern direction, we have in Chevy Crimson, it is the Aeon of Naberweiser. He is a 1600 for Team 2. And next to him, we have in lightest red pink, it is Freddy Fresh playing as a Cybran as a 1200. So for Team 2 side of the map, they have two UEF, two Cybrans, one Aeon, and then 0 Seraphim, which means all the factions are represented in the game, just not on each team. They are represented all on Team 1, but again, Team 2 lacks the Seraphim faction. And for these 10 players on the map, before they scoop it all up, let's take a look at their reclaim situation. Currently sitting at 15,000 mass and reclaim, which makes it 1.5k mass per player. This is definitely worth writing home about. There are large clumpages of reclaim on the eastern and western half of the map, or to say more edges of the map. There is a little bit on the southern and northern edge, and then there's pretty much nothing to fight over in the middle of the map, except a couple of mexes, which we're going to take a look at for additional mexes on the map for each team. We'll take a look at Team 2 side of the map this game. There is a 5-star mex position here, and there's also a 5-star mex position here. Looks like maybe starting locations for other players that could have joined. No, because there's only 4. Yeah, there's only 4 there for the other players. Looks like no, but hey, it's just nice to have some extra mass in the corner of the map. There is some mexes in the middle of the map to grab. They're not really completely close to one another, but it's something up there on the central plateau. And then towards the eastern side, we do see a Trimax position here that Team 1 has just grabbed. Team 2's, I guess we'll say, is that one. And then bar that, there are the customary one-offs all around the map. Taking a look at where players are headed off to, we have 2 players from Team 2 on the eastern side. Looks like we have 3 inbound from Team 1 from the eastern side, so it's going to be 3v2 in favor for Team 1 on that side. And then it's going to be reversed. Team 2 has 3 players here, and then Team 1 has 2 on that western side. Looks like nobody going to the upper plateau just yet. T2 air isn't done, so no T2 transport to get up there, but I highly doubt we'll see a lot of comms up there, if at all, just because it is an isolated section of the map, and there's not really a lot of anything to grab up there. We do see Storm Lantern going to, looks like, capture those facilities. Storm Lantern's going to get out of there. He's being shot at by Caliber. First combat action will occur between the 2 Cybrans of Caliber and Storm Lantern. Storm Lantern dropping in the yellow, but Caliber is taking some damage from those Mantis that are not only being built by Storm Lantern's facilities, but also being built by Caliber's old facility. Reclaim going down to stop that facility from producing more units. Looks like for the most part, Team 1 has grabbed the central plateau. Again, additional mixes for them, not very much, but it's something. And then the eastern half, we do see Mass and Andin and Tentel. Kind of taking it easy against Team 2's Freddy Fresh and Nabberwasser. Nabberwasser does have speed/range on board. He might be pushing a little bit more into Team 1's territory. Storm Lantern now pushing back Caliber. They're dropping hit points still, but Caliber not looking super great. He does have a Team 1 PD in placement to fall back to, so that's going to be nice for him. But Double Dealer is inbound with his comms. It looks like 2v1. 3v1 is now inbound. We have gun speed started for I Will Rage Quit. And Caliber not looking too hot. Again, he's at 4,200 hit points remaining. Sabdex is moving into assist as well. Team 1 PD is down. There is another one here now. It's in range. That one is in range. That one's now gone here shortly. Double Dealer has taken a lot of damage. He took the brunt of that Team 1 PD harassment and will force Caliber to fall back. And I would assume all of these players, including the ones that really didn't take a lot of damage, will probably go for gun and then maybe nano if they can so do so. Which on Team 2, Nabberwasser can't do that. And then on Team 1, it's Tentel and Rage Quit because they don't have access to nano upgrades. Shield started for Tentel on the eastern side. He has speed/range on board, going for Aeon Sniper Mini, the Aeon Mini Sniper Tank, because it's a mini sniper and a mini tank. Team 1's comms are retreating in the face of that mini sniper from Team 2's Nabberwasser. Range is almost done for I Will Rage Quit, being assisted by Caliber, going for advanced range. Caliber's at 50% hit points. Not looking too great, but not too bad. None of the players on Team 2 on the western side have any sort of gun upgrade, so they should be fine to just kind of hang out there, but definitely want to watch out for any sort of early departures on that side of the map. Taking a look at the eco, relatively the same. Again, we're only 9 minutes in, so 10 mass a second, 20 mass a second, 30 mass a second. Even again at 10 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, isn't really a lot of mass to be ahead. A little bit helps, of course, but again, percentage-wise, it doesn't really matter towards you get to the later half of the game anyways, in terms of the 10, 20 mass lead. Gun started for Caliber, returning the favor from assisting Rage Quit, so they're just assisting one another. So one advanced range and speed upgrade, one regular speed range upgrade. Stealth started for Storm. He might be going for nano. He might be doing stealth for additional hit points and then gun and then back to nano maybe. We shall see. Yep, there's the gun upgrade. That is probably what he's doing. Those comms are inbound on the western side. And looks like maybe some combi-com action now appearing between Freddy Fresh and Tantau. It's gun versus gun, advanced range, speed, and shield on board for Team 1's Tantau. We do see gun has now been progressed over 50% of the way. Double Dealer in. Sabdex going to run and try to do some damage to the comms and try to distract him at least for a little while the gun upgrade from Storm finishes, which it does. Storm is now going to assist. He has, again, only gun and stealth versus Caliber's only gun. It's 2v1. Bombers inbound from Sabdex to assist at least a little bit. Singes the comms feed a little bit. And there's another drop of some Scorchers. And there goes Team 1's Caliber, assisted by the Bombers from Sabdex. And, of course, the comm of Sabdex and Storm Lantern's commander. I Will Rage Quit. Not looking too great. We have Storm at 1-star vet. He's at 57 and dropping. We have 5,000 and dropping, so it might be another murder-suicide in the western side. Not another, but one murder-suicide on the western side. Eastern side, we have Tantau being surrounded by Freddy Fresh's forces. His shield is down. It looks like he might just let him escape, which means it's now a 4v5 in favor for Team 2 at 12 minutes. Not looking good from Team 1's western front. We had some units being transferred over to Mass. He might rotate westward to assist that front. In terms of the Rigard Slot, we have T3 air done for Team 2. Do we have another T3? No. Team 1, do we have T3 in the northeast? Yes, we do. So it's 1v1 in air. Secondary air, not yet for anybody. So it's going to be one each. And it looks like nano repair has been started for Storm Lantern, assisted by Double Dealer for a little bit. Storm cancels the upgrade, goes, nah, it's probably not a good idea. Moves in to deal with those blazes inbound from Rage Quit. Looks like those remaining forces from Team 1 have been dealt with, at least from Mass. More units are inbound from him from the east. We have 3 commanders here. Sabdex not looking too hot. They're definitely concerned about a kind of cascade happening where Sabdex dies, does damage to Double Dealer dies, does damage to Storm, or vice versa. And it'd not be a good day for Team 2 on that Western front. So definitely something to be concerned about. And Sabdex is like, yeah, I want to get out of there. I want to play the game more than 13 minutes. So he decides to just book it out of there and call it a day. Eastern side, again, really the only player being offensive on Team 1 is Tantal. Freddy and Nabarweiser might be pushing in together to go after Tantal. His shield is back online, so now he's at 20,000 additional, not additional, but total hit points on board. Bomber's still punishing Storm, but again, it's not too bad. It's not great, but it's not terrible. They could be T3 bombers, and they could have killed them off real quick. Let's kill or not, says Freddy Fresh. There's kind of this dance going down. We have a missile inbound from Team 2. It's going to hit, I would assume, a mechs. There's a lot of open mechs up there, at least on the eastern half. Western half of the eastern side is protected by some TMD. Team 1 does have control of the middle of the map. Kind of surprised they're not building more, stuff on this southern tip here, but, they're probably focused on other things. Yum those blazes, says Storm Lantern. He's doing pretty good eliminating them. He's now at 3-star vet, closing in on 4. We have some Scorchers from Team 2's Sabdex going after the comm of I will Rage Crit. Just annoying him a little bit. Maybe he will Rage Crit. We'll see. Again, he has that name for a reason. Eastern side, we have Tantal being pushed back by Freddy once again. We have a couple of blazes coming in to assist Tantal. We even have the comm of Mass inbound. Again, Mass is the only Seraphim player in the game, which means he should be producing some chickens sooner rather than later to use that advantage. And those chickens, because of their secondary weapon systems on board in terms of their secondary boss mechanic, if you want to call it that, that Ion Storm does a lot of damage. It can be very impactful for assaulting bases and other things, but spaces specifically, just because it's you send it in the middle of the base, it blows up, and then it just activates the Ion Storm. Everything goes crazy. And it looks like Tantal being surrounded a little bit. Drops not too great. Looks like he's having some power issues. His shield keeps coming on and offline. Looks like he just barely got some veterancy. They'll keep him alive a little while longer. We have Mass moving into assist. Tantal drops almost into the red. Looks like he's going to be fine. Freddy is hanging back. Doesn't want to engage right now. And not looking great there. It looks like he's a little tired. Maybe he'll take a nap after this. Don't know when the game is being casted, but some players play at 2 to 4 o'clock in the morning, which is still insane to me, but it's just what they do. Nano repair started for Team 2's commander of Sabdex. He has gun now on board. And now Storm is still eliminating Team 2's presence there on that western side of the map. And map control, it's a little bit in favor, I think, for Team 2-ish. Nah, you got the middle of the maps, maybe not. But we do see some units inbound from Team 2, T3 Tech specifically. It looks like they are going to run around those forces from Team 1. There's a couple of PD. Not a lot, though. The Harbingers could be more than enough to deal with that. But it looks like they don't want to lose some just to some couple of random units in the middle of the map, corner of the map. We do see Storm going for Nano again. So what is... Maybe not again. I think he canceled it the first time, I think. We do see those T2 Rhinos inbound. They could maybe overwhelm that commander. He's at 50% and climbing. He might just stay with it and try to just tank the shots. That way the regen will help him out. He's back up almost to full HP at this point. All the engineers are dead. 91%. Cancels the upgrade. That's a little unfortunate. Bombers inbound to his system. ASF's coming to make sure nothing comes to hit him. And the Rhinos run right by him. And honestly, that's probably what saved Storm Lantern there. It's taking a little bit longer to shoot through those Rhinos. Bricks are inbound. Same with the comm of Sabdex with the Nano upgrade. He would have probably actually been fine to finish the Nano. He would have taken more hit point damage in the initial engagement, but he was at 91%. So you might as well just go for it. And see if he can get out of there. A little bit of an air scuffle, a kerfuffle. Storm catching that vet, says... Caliber. He's almost at 5-star. Nom nom nom. I had to cancel though. Nom nom nom. Eastern side, Santel making some progress. Nano is down for Freddy Fresh on the eastern side again. It's still a 5v4. No one has died as of yet after the death of Caliber. And Team 1's Mass has double base. I will want to note that Enden, the person in the Rigard slot, has a little bit more mass than his teammate who has double base. We do see a couple of Harbingers going after an Otham and a couple of other units underneath some shielding. Otham actually pokes out of the shielding. Probably not the best idea, to be honest. Those Harbingers, the shield will hold, but at least for a second longer. But those Harbingers are getting blitzed down by that little bit of PD. Looks like the second Harbinger's now being hit. Transport's going to drop an Otham right on top of them. And yeah, that'll be nice, but I feel like in both scenarios, you're just fighting over not really a lot of mass. And Team 1 really isn't trying to bombard Team 2 on any vector on that middle plateau section. So honestly, I don't even know if it's worth even holding. I mean, it's probably worth holding just in case Team 2 wants to go for that, but I don't know if it's worth sending all of that mass into it if you're not actually going to use it. And now we see Gun Nano, and a large army from the west from I Will Rage Quit. So we'll see if that happens or not. Like I said, I keep saying it when I bring up his name just because, his name is I Will Rage Quit. So maybe he will rage quit, maybe he won't. We will just have to see. It looks like artillery inbound by some miasma causing some lingering issues for Team 1's forces. Looks like, again, Tantal using sniper bots and some asylums and his own shielding and comm to push back Team 2. He only has the regular range, not the advanced, so he's not going to be able to really fight back at very far away. Sabdex gets ripped down by some bricks from Team 1. So they ran into. And even if Team 2 Storm Lantern was there, I don't know if that would have affected too much. I mean, some more overcharges would help out, but I still think the comm, at least one of them would have died, and then maybe put Storm in a difficult position to maybe died right after that. One vice versa, either he dies first or Sabdex dies or something. Eastern side, some more kerfuffles are happening between Team 1 and Team 2. Looks like some miasma helping to kill off some Ilshis, and some of the base for mass has been defeated. Team 1 has a nice little Omni here next to the pond. It's a nice placement. You can get a lot of readings on what Team 1's up to, especially on the eastern half. But again, it could easily be killed off because it's very far forward. Is that risk and reward perspective? 22 minutes on the clock. Team 1 at 4th place left, losing Caliber, and then Sabdex right after that for Team 2. Not right after, but close after that, making this game now a 4v4 with Eco's about tied up slightly in Team 2's favor. But again, we're talking about 10, 20, 30 mass a second at most, maybe closing in on 40. And honestly, it's not really about the amount. It's about the percentage ahead. Because being 100 mass a second 5 minutes in versus 100 mass a second at 50 minutes in is a completely different scenario. We have our artillery constantly raining into those sniper and asylum units, and it looks like some of those units are taking some damage from not only the Tuco cannons but the artillery. Pink had 3 years to react to those bombers, says Caliber. Don't know what in reference to what, but he did lose a bomber engagement at some point, I guess. No idea what's in reference to. Shield heavy is done for Tantal, so he has Aeon sniper tank because he has the advanced range now online as well. We have constant artillery firing at this little group of units. They constantly are moving. Oh, artillery doesn't hit the sniper bot, but is pretty darn close. It looks like continuing to just bombard this group of units. Hits the shielding again. Almost kills off that sniper bot. They're just still staying alive. Yeah, but hasn't unlocked the Team 1 Air Scout yet. Sign of true excellence, says Storm. Airfight happens again. Looks like Team 1's going to win it. And, oh yeah, most definitely. I'd say about 2 squadrons in favor. Actually, that's Team 2. I keep thinking that's Team 1 for some reason. That's Team 2. He's about a little over 1, almost close to 2 squadrons ahead. Not a lot of ASF to be ahead, but it is something. Air grid slowly expanding as well. Team 1, same thing. Very boxy formations for both of those players, so nothing too uncascadable. But we'll see if they change up their strategies as the air grids continue to expand. Constant bombardment from Team 2 is ripping apart the western half of the east. We have units running by on the eastern edge of the map, and then we have units running by just straight down the middle almost. Can you really run by something to run straight through it? Not just... I don't know how other players are comfortable playing against the darkness, but I like to see things. Is he talking about like the fog? Like this? Talking about the fog of war? I have no idea what he's talking about. Maybe just not having radar, maybe? I don't know. We do see those forces from Team 1 still stacking up. Lots of Harbingers. Could easily wipe out the comm if they chose to do so. They just haven't chosen to do so yet, which I feel like is kind of a missed opportunity, because you'd be able to eliminate the highest rated player in the game by a decent margin, and then, you know, again, a 2000 could play as an 800, could play as a 1400, could play as a 2500, could play as a 2000. I mean, rating is definitely I'd say it's more of an average than anything else, because again, any day could be you're playing at 4 a.m. and you just need to go to sleep, or you're playing at 5 o'clock in the afternoon and you've had all of the good things to eat and whatnot. Like, there's so many different factors that go into, well, players are playing at this rating, but they're rated at this rating and that sort of thing. So it's just one of those things. And I'm not super knowledgeable about the granular, this is how a 1400 plays, this is how a 1000 plays, this is how a 2000 rated plays. I just say, okay, his rating is that. Okay, we should expect somewhat pro level rating or not pro. It just, again, rating is more of a guideline than an actual rule. And with that rating spiel out of the way, we do see, I think the first experimental was done in the game. Looks like the GC was built a while ago from Team 1's Tantal. And I don't see any experimentals from Team 2. I don't see a Monkeloid yet, which I feel like is such a missed opportunity for both teams. Unless they built it somewhere, I completely missed it, which is entirely possible. I don't see any other upgrade or any other experimentals, which is odd. Maybe they just keep transferring over the GC and I just don't notice. Western side of the map, we have a couple of transports with some Percy's. Percy's on board. Oh, they've been found out immediately. Flak is going to chew them up before they even really get a lot of work done. But they do blitz on by. Oh, please go to the... Oh, they're not going to go to the upper plateau. Sad. We have something inbound from Team 1 maybe to deal with those. They were shot at, so Rage Quit is aware of them. I don't see any comments in the chat about that. Not just, yeah, but it's not looking great, says Caliber. This game looks losses. I don't know. It's not over till the Fact Lady sings, or whoever sings, I guess. And Air just gets annihilated from Team 2. Team 1 won that incredibly greatly. And Transport, again, has a couple of Percy's, but the Transports, one of them dies. That's the one that had two of them on board. There's a Brick as well mixed in there. And a Deceiver. The Deceiver is gone, so some firepower is lost for Team 1, or for Team 2. But again, Broadswords come to say, nah-uh. And Team goes, nah-uh. And they go, uh-huh. And you're like, oh. Tantal gets underneath the surface of the water. The GC is down. The Monkeywood is heavily damaged, but not dead. And there's a GC online for Neberwasser as we speak. Couple of Loyalists running around. T3 Mix isn't dead yet. And T2 upgrading to T3 is being done as we speak. So that's not great for Team 2 at all. GC pointed out by Sabdex. Don't know what that one's talking about. It's talking about that one. And Team 2 still has to deal with this little annoyance. Again, that's a T2 Max that was close to a T3, so that's going to hurt. I'll probably still say that's 27 mass a second, because it would have been in a couple of moments. 30 minutes closing in on the clock. We have lots of ASFs online for Anden now. He's looking at almost a triple-digit sum. Team 2's double dealer is at 40, so I'd say air dominance for Team 1. Nothing by a huge margin or anything, but still. We will see if Team 1 utilizes a little bit more air going forward. They are using some broadswords. I can see that running around. They're using them early, to be fair, but maybe some strats will make their appearance. Looks like the forces were dealt with. Maybe the Harbingers, yep, they're the ones that did with that. Engineers are being dropped off, I would assume, at that position to rebuild that T2, T3 mix. Get some more of that eco flowing into Team 2's veins, which they don't really have to worry about eco too much, because it's 1.7 to 1.5, 1.4 in favor for Team 2. So they're sitting pretty on the mass department. Nothing, oh my goodness, we have, 1,000 mass lead. We got to use all the mass and very quickly. But hey, a little bit helps. A lot more would help more, but, a little bit is better than nothing. Megawith on the western side. Monkeywood also on the western side, but for Team 1, looks like it might be linking up with the group of Harbingers to the west, protecting that avenue. GC is inbound from a Rage Quit, so it looks like it might be a 2v1 scenario here in trade for Team 1 shortly. And then the eastern side of the map, we have Team to Snapwester and some forces from Freddy Fresh. Looks like they're playing, you know, I was going to say chicken, but not chicken. They're just going back and forth on the eastern side, some salmon ladder thing. I don't know. And we have artillery raining in. I love the mobile artillery use. It chews through the shielding pretty quickly. It allows the units to get underneath and actually get to the more impactful bits. I don't know what it is today, but I'm just super thirsty. So if you hear any sort of ice or whatever rummaging around my mic, that's why, because I'm taking a drink. And I don't know. Usually I don't. You know, I drink before and after cast, so I don't do that. But for today, whatever reason, man, I'm just super thirsty for whatever reason. No idea. And it has some caffeine in it, which is always nice, just to, you know, keep me awake. Even though I'm doing these at, you know, a normal time of the day, it's still nice to be like, oh, I'm a little sleepy or a little tired or whatever. It's just nice to get to pick me up once in a while. Caliber really wants that Megalith dead. Rage Quit pulled his forces back, and he might be regretting that. Maybe he'll do the thing. But Monkey Lord gets up to a vet right before he dies. Megalith is at less than 50%, closing in on 25 now. Bricks anything being thrown at that GC. GC's losing hit points decently quick, though, 41,000, but the Megalith is going to die before the GC is killed, and there goes the GC killing off the Mega. That's going to be a win for Team 1 on the Western Front. Lots of reclaim to grab, as well as just having the map territory at a bare minimum. Eastern side, we have artillery still raining in on some bricks chasing Team 2, and now we have a GC saying, no, you need to go away with that. We don't want you here. 33 minutes on the clock. Team 1, again, still only lost Caliber. Team 2 is still only lost Sabdex, so it's 4v4. And Eco is 1.8 in favor of Team 2 to 1.6. Let me know down in the comments who you think is going to currently win this game. Of course, if you haven't, because why not at this point, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Thanks so much for watching to this point in the video. Hopefully you're enjoying the broadswords getting slaughtered by ASFs, and then the ASFs getting slaughtered by other ASFs. Slippery like an eel, says Caliber, probably talking about Storm Lantern being chased down by Team 1. Ooh, GC's going to try to ground fire. Storm Lantern, looked like he might have taken a hit or so. And he just wants to pop out and kill off that GC. GC has less than 1,000 hit points. He could easily just go doot doot and kill him off with an overcharge. Not looking too great, though. Team 2 sends a couple of Torp Bombers and then call it a day. There's a new Megalith on the scene from Team 2. There's some bouncers thinning out the ASFs from Team 1. Storm's going to not get stomped on, so it looks like Team 1's trying to stomp on him. Oh, he's getting booped a little bit. Oh, he's dancing with him. He's dancing. Not looking good. Oh, for either of these units. Now he's up to 1,700 and climbing. Storm is back up to 10,000 because he has 5-star vet and almost 100 hit points a second regen. So he's doing well for himself. Team 1 is sending Torp Bombers and gunships inbound. Do a little bit of mixture. GC is too far underneath the surface for the AoE of the Megas to actually affect him. And it looks like the gunships are holding position for now. He needs a shielding. He needs AA. He needs something. He's getting some SAM sites as we speak, but I don't know. We do see Torp Bombers aren't going to be effective, and broadswords come in and say, nah, and Storm says, okay, fine. Be like that. You could actually just send the Megalith in with its torpedoes and call it a day, but you're probably more worried. He's probably more worried about the land forces and everything else. We do see it's a monkey, 2 chickens, and a GC versus Team 2's only GC and only monkey. Laser started on board Freddy Fresh's comm. GC's back up to almost 4,000 hit points. We have a Team 1 naval facility gets immediately annihilated. We have AA being built underneath some shielding targeting the broadswords to allow the GC, not GC, but the comm to get out of there. And Mega is taking a ton of damage from these units. And I will note Team 1 has a lot of air forces hanging out in the area. The only problem with that I see is that the longer they stay there, the more damage they'll take. The more damage they take, it makes it easier to actually take the air win. And all of the ASFs kill off all of the gunships. Team 2 will lose the fight once again. GC is fleeing. That'll be the end of that stomping attempt from Team 1 here for the foreseeable future. Harbinger's blazing in to kill off all the chickens and all the everything. And chicken will be killed off. There's still a chicken and there's still a monkey lord, but there's also another GC and more forces inbound from the east. Not another, but the other monkey lord and a megalith is online. Monkey lord is down, so it's just chicken and GC versus GC and megalith. As long as the mega can stay out of range, I'm going to root for the the configuration of Team 2. Hey! I want a bomber online. 52,000 mass. 52,000 hit points on board. Gets killed out pretty quickly by the everything, but hey, makes big booms. I like big booms. And GC dropping hit points very quickly. And there goes that. 36 minutes on the clock. Let's take a look at the reclaim situation because it's probably going to be a decent amount. Oh, it is. 260,000 and climbing, and especially with that landing. Shield does not get penetrated, which means the SMD will be fine. Bomber is going to get focused now, but the ASFs. ASFs from Team 1 might catch up to it in time, which they do. But the bomber drops its payload, and a couple of ASFs get hit by that. But 5 mexes with double ringed, which means 27 times 5 plus 8 times 5, which is 40 plus 120 plus 10. So what is that? 135, because it's actually 125. 135, 175 mass income from Team 2 eliminated. And that, I don't know if that's worth the 26,000 from the Awasa Bomber, but again, 175 times however many seconds it takes for Team 2 to get those stuff back online. I mean, it's kind of worth it. And to be fair, the reclaim, the only thing that's really left are the actual, barely T3 mexes. You can see there's just nothing left of them in terms of actual value out of their wreckages. So realistically, the reclaim doesn't even exist. So it's just rebuilding all of those from scratch. Satellite, UEF does UEF things. Team 2, actually, sorry. Cybran does UEF things for Team 2. Storm Lantern finishes that. Looks like he has that. Oh, because of Sabdex. Yeah, that's right. I was like, why does he have UEF? That would be it. SMD pointed out by Napperweiser. Same thing with Novax from Team 1. So we have UEF Satellite versus UEF Satellite, and they're going to duke it out by not shooting at one another. Going to shoot at everything else, but just not them. Very rarely do I see a satellite from one team target the satellite station from the other team. It's mainly just, let's blow up all of the other things, except that, for whatever reason. Cloaking started for Team 2's Freddy. He has laser already on board. Shield Heavy started here for Napperweiser. Of course, he has the regular one, as well as just regular range, no advanced range. But hey, he's not on the front line, so having something is obviously way better than having nothing. Team 2 utilizing the pond quite nicely to poke in and out, and then Team 2 is looking to do the same thing over here, just they need to actually get in the pond to do that. Looks like Team 1's trying to reclaim as much as they can. Of course, the Harbingers have reclaim mechanics on board as well, so very versatile units in that way. And Mike Gwyn goes, nah, I'll just blow up all of the engineers and call it a day. 2 GCs, Mega for Team 1's Western Front, Mega and Monkey, so favor for Team 1 there. Another Mega is done. We have Storm with some visual contact on that western side. Again, not playing in the dark, I guess is the way to put it. Novax is done for Team 1. Looks like it's on its way to Team 2's main location, which would probably, or the satellite location maybe. This could be the game that proves me wrong. And still just super thirsty for whatever reason. Don't know why. We have western side, Mega and 2 GCs. And looks like the Percys and the bricks are stacking up. And there are engineers scooping up a lot of reclaim. Team 1 and Team 2 doing a very good job of scooping up reclaim. Again, it is in favor for Team 2, but again, we're talking about percentages, about 10%, which again isn't all. It's still a portion. It's about 20-something thousand mass. But in the grand scheme of things, it's not a lot. And there's still a heaping amount of mass on the map to scoop up, so Team 1 can easily catch up. 138, honestly. Most of it's on Team 2's side of the map. There's a clump there. There's a bigger clump there. And then, of course, there's some clumpage back there because of the bomber that came and said hi to Team 2 from Team 1. And Team 2 is really trying to keep that reclaim going. You can see they're scooping up as much as they can, as quickly as they can. Lots of broadswords mixed in there as well, so very hefty reclaim units. 900 from that, 12,000 from that. Harbingers are obviously cheaper, but still worth the 300 to 500 mass you can get from them. Is there any plans to end the game? We have 1 satellite versus 1 satellite. Those alone... Oh, look, second satellite. So 2 satellites. Those alone aren't going to be enough. I mean, I've even seen shielding against, 8, I think is when I finally saw it break. So I think it was 6 to 7. And shielding was still alive and kicking. It was kind of on and off, but there was, multiple emplacements that were, essentially one would be regenning naturally, the other one would be assisted, and it kind of would hot swap between them when needed. And then lots of mass fabs to the north for I will rage quit. He's getting shielding. He's getting shielding, so I can't fault him there. Just oof with the cascadable effect. Team 2 cleaning up Team 1's air forces considerably. And that is a win outright from Team 2. Oh, I didn't switch it back over to the regular mass. Apologies. Eastern side, we have 2 chickens and 4 GCs. That's not great for Team 2 because there's 2 GCs, 3 GCs, and a Mega. Numbers do not favor Team 2 by any metric. Count, units, all the things. Cloaking is done for Freddy Fresh. The Omni is back on the other side of the pond. So as long as he can stay south of that location, his Omni will be his cloaking will be fine. Anything essentially north of right about there is probably not a good idea. First chicken is down, which is, again, the target to go after because the Ion Storm, you get that thing away from your units so they don't get lasered to death or rogued Ion to death. There goes the chicken. There's 4 GCs still. Team 2. There's another GC inbound. Another one, of course, being focused down. Another one being built, I will admit, incredibly quickly given its 99,999 hit points on board that thing. Laser over the top from Team 2, focusing mexes, it looks like. And looks like that one over there to the west doing similar things. We have 2 satellites online for Team 2's double deal. Looks like he's finished that. And GC not looking too great. This GC's not great. Crash damage will help out a ton. Looks like he might actually get to be able to move out of the way. Oh, we had 61 hit points remaining. He does 100% of damage at 0. And he's dead. And he would have lasted a little bit longer with the crash damage not accounted for, but still, that GC got built very quickly, which will be finished. There's also another one inbound, and that Mega inbound from Team 2. So, what does that make it? 4, 5, 6, 7 GC Rex maybe? 1, 2, let's say 3 right there, and then 3 right there, and then 2 right there. That's 8. Plus 2 chickens and a Mega and a partridge and a pear tree. And GC is here from Team 2. That was the one being built moments ago. Another one was started. That GC is now down. Team 1 is scooping as fast as possible. They know they lost the fight. Team 2 needs to get in and get all this reclaim, funnel it into something else, because it's closing in on the 45-minute mark, and neither team really has a plan to end the game, just a way to survive it. More GC. Scratch that. We have Team 2's Freddy going for the Scathus, the weakest of the 4 game enders, in my opinion, and can't change my mind on that front. Artillery done for Team 1. Shielding going down more as well. Love to see it. Another Novak starter for Team 1's and Den. And, I zoomed in. Didn't mean to do that. And just more and more mass fab for Team 1's Rage Quit, because why not? Again, it's crazy to me. We've had 2 kills, and nobody has died for a while, which either means we'll have players vacate the scene, or maybe we'll just have a complete annihilation one after the other. It has happened both ways, so we shall see. Mass Fab Farm was started. That's not going to be finished anytime soon. Artillery was almost done. Emphasis on the word almost. Likelihood is trying to be built as fast as possible, but Storm is not going to finish that anytime soon, unfortunately. That's going to be a sore spot for Team 2 on that western front. Satellite, of course, is targeting the Novak station, which means no satellite for Team 1 here shortly. Shielding is down. Make it easier for the artillery and the satellite to target it. And it misses by a mile. Or a kilometer. Technically, a mile is longer than a kilometer, but, that is the one thing I feel like will probably never change for the U.S. is kilometers versus feet and whatnot, because it's so integrated into everything, especially because there's a sport that revolves around yards rather than meters. So, but I do think, Celsius versus Fahrenheit, I feel like that would probably be the one thing that could be easily adoptable. Because even I use Celsius because my wife is not from the U.S., so she grew up on Celsius, and 0 degrees for freezing, 100 degrees for boiling makes way more sense than 32 degrees for freezing and whatever the number is for boiling, whatever the number is. I could try to do the calculation in my head, but I'm also casting a game, so probably not. Well, actually, it'd be actually not too bad because it's 212. Yeah, I think it's 212. Because for whatever dumb reason, one of the only two formulas I ever memorized in middle school and high school is the Celsius to Fahrenheit conversion formulas. No idea why I memorized those. No idea. I just did. Western side, Nuke getting hit by artillery. Transport has the comm on board. Again, apologies for the random conversation about Celsius and Fahrenheit and miles and feet and yards and meters and whatnot. I get easily distracted sometimes. 2 satellites focusing on 2 artillery pieces. Looks like a third one was started. Hey, look at this. They're kind of doing this kind of nice little mixture of artillery emplacements. They should just get one of each. You know, do the Duke and then do the Disruptor, the other D, and then do the Emissary, and then do the Hovatham. You have Head, H-E-D-D if you read it this way, or D. I can't even say it. Anyway. GC's pushing in. That's a lot of PD emplacements. We have a chicken chasing that one. We have a lot more firepower over here. Miasma also here. We have a Megalith helping as well. Another GC. They are spread out, I will admit, so kind of, you know, thins the playing field out. But again, that one hardly was affected. That one, crash damage will actually probably do a little bit more damage than anything else. Will they get the Omni? They probably will. There it goes. Grabs the Omni. At least that blinds Team 1 for a little bit. We have ASFs cleaning up for some missiles that are inbound. Team 2 has broken the SMD. And are they going to break the PGens for Team 1? Looks like the Zappers are inbound. Shielding comes back online. And no, there's some PGens exposed. But looks like artillery has wiped out the Nuke. Transport picks up the comm and gets out of there. But that air grid is not looking good for Team 2, not at all. Emissary is coming on, is online and pumping out shots. Team 1, what are you up to up here? Still just more mass fabs up there. Dang, that's a lot of stuff up there. Team 2, how's that Scathus? It's progressing. It's over half done. And explosion. Where's the explosion? Someone die? No. Teleporter started for Team 2 Storm. He might die. He's not looking good on his hit point count. Shielding is down for Team 2's double dealer because he just doesn't have the power to run everything. Ooh, 7. Ooh, ooh. Why are you negative 112? Ooh, they fixed that. That's a lot of power to be down at one time. We have broadswords thinning out the everything for Team 1 over here, but looks like there's AA being built to shoo them away. Team 2, I mean, they just gifted Team 1 just a couple of GCs. The Mega did fall back. Satellite's still poking at the artillery emplacements. Nothing else from Team 1 yet in terms of bigger items. Again, once you get enough Novaxes, that's a game ender outright. Just because there's a lot of lasers shooting at stuff on the ground without being shot at necessarily. We have Team 2's Nabwester now receiving some artillery bombardment. Looks like some PGens and a little bit of air grid is down. Secondary air grid looks like has been targeted. And that's unfortunate. How's Storm's stuff going? He's done with the laser and he's done with the teleporter. So he might be teleporting to something on Team 1 side of the map. Don't know what he would necessarily go for. I mean, one artillery, I guess, is already down. This one's heavily damaged, so it's probably not worth it sending him there. I mean, it's worth it probably to kill off the other artillery, but probably with something bigger. The Novaxes would be nice because there's no PD anywhere in sight. And yeah, there's a lot of engineers, but if you can get in and kill off at least 2 of the 3, then that's progress. And then over here to the south, there is an artillery emplacement. At least the T3, there's T1s there. We have the comm there. We have gunships there. We have a GC almost done there. It's probably just a GC almost done there. Probably not the best idea to teleport there, but that's my 2 cents on that front. Artillery is now bombarding. Oh, they're still bombarding Nabberwaster's position, it looks like. There are you. Nope, you're not teleporting yet. I got to keep track of you because you're going to teleport when I not notice, and then you're going to die, and I'm going to be that's sad. But gunships pushing in from Team 2's double dealer. Wipes out the PGens. Oh, nope. Oh, wipes out the PGens. Artillery is going to get it anyway, but that'll work. And it wipes out the remaining artillery emplacement for Team 1 there. There's still the one over here. They're moving eastward. There's some more AA. Why aren't they pushing northeast? They could be going after the Novaxes and the stuff up there, but they're going to go after the front line, I guess. There's been a lot of AA developed here, and there's more being developed all the time. They're trying to go after the other artillery, and looks like circling going down from Sabdex to say go for that. Shielding is holding considerably, so good luck with that. Yeah, I definitely think they should have gone after this, and especially because there was ASF coverage already here anyways, you might as well just go there. That's my 2 cents on that front, but hey, I'm not the person playing, I am the person watching. We have a Megalith on the western side. And we have... but still artillery hitting essentially the same spot. Storm, Storm's doing a thing. Where are you going? Where are you going? You're going over there. You're going to the one place where I don't... it's just... Team 1 has spotted him. Multiple PD emplacements already being built. Storm teleports in and loses hit points very quickly and dies. Shielding doesn't even really notice, to be honest. And Storm Lantern is defeated by Tantal. 51 minutes. That was the next kill from Team 2 Sabdex. That's unfortunate for Team 2. And looks, somebody's commenting about something, and Storm Lantern's like, true. Where we know here, it says Sabdex. What? Oh, they're talking about the air grid. Want kill it, says Double Dealer. Why use more word for small? Is it small word do trick? I forget how that quote goes from The Office, but it's like, why use big word when small word do trick or something like that. Me, Carno go and we best friends. I'm just thinking about that line from The Office. Anyway, the Scathis is almost done. It's in the green. Team 1, are you aware of it? You are not. So that might be a rude awakening, especially with the satellites focusing on this over here. And looks like some kerfuffles happened from Team 2, and looks like they were dealt with quite nicely. Artillery has been rebuilt once again for Team 1, so there's 2 artillery emplacements for Team 1 plus 3. How are you not done yet? Oh, because you're being built very slowly. Why are you still being... oh, why? And don't know what's going on with the ASFs. Please don't hurt me. Oh, no! The donut came to say hi, wiped out a bunch of mass fabs, and there was a Paragon being built. All those Sams, and he went around. Yeah, look at that. He went, and he went, looks like this way. That is unfortunate. Not going after SMDs. Looks like they're going to target the artillery there. They could go after the mass fabs up there, crack the PGens. I mean, he has 18,000. Actually, the killing off the mass fabs would help because it consumes power, but well, they are going to kill off maybe the emissary with crash damage. He's not moving very much, so... oh, there's the crash. There it is. 53 minutes, and there it goes. And it's gone. And look at that. Just destruction up there to the north. That donut did pretty well. Donut over here on the western side, cleaning up stuff from Team 1's approach on the western side. Satellites have found the Scathis, so it is going to be a race to who can build that thing sooner rather than later in terms of shielding, in terms of the everything. There are GCs and everything else inbound from the north, though, so they're going to have to use this thing sooner rather than later. But again, like I said, we shall see if it will work. We have 5 GCs. They killed off the Megas from Team 2. There's another GC done. And it looks like Team 2's Freddy's coming to say hi. Is he within range is the question. No. No, the comm is there, but they don't see him. He's being assisted by engineers. Hopefully that doesn't get him killed. That'd be unfortunate. They might just get vacuumed up, though, the engineers, not the comm. Imagine if you could vacuum up the comm and just slowly crush it to death. You can do it through proxy. If the comm is on a transport and the transport is on the ground, then the GC can grab it and then crush the comm, technically. Not technically, but technically. Freddy Fresh trying to laser these first of the 4 GCs. One of them went right. Scath is pointed up by Tantal. More shield, says Sabdex. Looks like ground firing happening. Freddy, you gotta keep moving. You gotta keep moving. Ground firing happening. Oh, there he goes. Team 1 crushes not Tantal, but Freddy Fresh's cloaking laser commander at 54 minutes. And with that, it's now a 4-2, a 2-1 game in favor for Team 1. Artillery is landing on the air grid, slowly whittling everything down, but I don't know. Strat bombers inbound for the PGens. Oh, it just caused a little bit of a cascade. It's not too bad, killing off some power. 10th outplayed well, hiding. Oh, holding that side. Yeah, he did do a very good job holding that side. Western side has pretty much collapsed. And GC running amok on this base to the west. The GCs really are the main stage affair for Team 1. Shielding is collapsing around the Scathis, and looks like the Scathis is still firing at the air grid. No, it's actually falling short, hitting this base. The shielding has been assisted for this a long time, so I don't think that's going to be enough. You need a Mavor to really cut through all that noise. Team 2 doesn't have time for a Mavor, so that's not going to work. Donut was killed off at some point. Don't know what that was. I guess that was the one hovering over top. There's a lot of flak there, I guess. Really whittling that thing down. Scathis is not looking too great, but we'll see if it stays online long enough. Still hitting the everything there. There are some PGens exposed on that northeastern side of the shield, but again, it's a trap. It says Caliber. Yeah, it's a trap. We have GCs inbound. Artillery landing next to the Scathis. More artillery. We have, again, a bunch of engineers. Some RAS assisting some shielding. They need more shielding. There it is. The shielding placement is down. And it's only going to take a matter of time. They rebuild the shield immediately. So, hey, there's that. They got to assist the shielding. They're not assisting. And there's the shield again. Scathis is badly damaged. And it is gone. I think the artillery technically took that. But, you know, it's about a mix of both. Last volley is inbound. Finish before game ends. Low says Caliber. Talking about the Paragon. He's half done with it. So, yeah, I think he's technically already built the Paragon if you count both attempts at it in terms of percentages. I think it was like 60-something percent. Now it's at, 50-something percent. But not looking good. How far along is it again? Yeah, it's at 60-something percent now. So, yeah, definitely a Paragon was built between the two. SACU is blown up. Artillery targeting some unfortunate GCs that are just walking by. Ooh, that one got hit. GC's inbound from Team 2 to try to just stop this aggression, but everybody else knows the game's already over. Strap Bomber's inbound to assist. Napawasser's here. He comes to say hi. He's going to go out with a big bang. And they notice the comm. Step on him. Step on him. Step on him. Yeah, step on him. And there it goes. Oh, look, the GC dies to the explosion. And that leaves Team 2's double dealer, the last remaining player for Team 2. Don't die yet. 2 more minutes, says I will rage. Caliber's all happy face, like, come on. And double dealer getting hit at by satellites. He has his own satellite and his own nuke. First and only nuke of the game. Maybe, possibly, maybe. FAF board being targeted. Looks like everybody else is just focusing on everything else. We have SACUs dying by the tens over here to the GCs. Oh, that's so much mass. Fire the nuke. Fire the nuke. Once you get it, fire the nuke. It'll be the first and only kaboom of the game. Team 1 has SMDs everywhere, so it's not going to work. But, might as well fire it, make the noise happen. Oh, there goes the SMD. There goes the shielding. Okay, you can die now. Whoop. Paragon says Team 1's Caliber. There it is. Second game ender is completed. And double dealer says, okay, fine. Launch it. Launch the nuke. You have it. He's launching. He's launching. There it is. There it is. And it fires as it's destroyed. Nice grab there. And it's going for something. It's going to get shot down most likely, but, never know. Some crazy malfunction may happen with an SMD. 1 second after nuke destroyed, I am fast, says double dealer. Well, you say that, but, yeah. Transport, you going to pick him up? Transport, it picks up the get him out of there, get him out of there. 500 hit points. Maybe it was the same one that Storm Lantern had. Where is he going? Where is the nuke going? Well, it got shot down, but, a lovely attempt nonetheless. 59 minutes in climbing. And he just explodes because he just control K's right there. But there you go. 59 minutes, 42 seconds on the clock. Team 1 wins the game. And MVP for me. I mean, everybody kind of did a very good job all around. There really wasn't one huge standout moment. You had a lot of back and forth on the west and the east. You had solid artillery play. You had, of course, solid air play. It was definitely much of back and forth there. There really wasn't a big standout moment. But I guess the GCs on the eastern side definitely assisted with really just killing off a ton of firepower for Team 2. It was just constant pressure. And it was, honestly, it was a 3v2 affair. And then it kind of just became a 1v2 affair at one point, where both of the players from Team 1, both Mass and then they fled. And they kind of just focused on artillery and air and just kind of left Tantal to his defenses. And he did a pretty good job. Wall sections, tons of PD, shielding to protect PD, AA, TMD. Love to see it. So maybe a little spotlight on Tantal for his defenses on that eastern front. But besides that, I really don't know who else to give MVP. Thank you so much for watching the very end of the video. Hopefully enjoying the start of your week. And I will see all of you in the next one.